Hannah Tyreman. I work at Renner College. I teach English. I've got a history of teaching functional skills, so all kinds of different subjects in different vocational areas across college. And I've now got a responsibility for CPD, and I've just had an interest in tech from the very beginning, really. And I guess one of the questions, Martin, you'd sent me beforehand was the first tech tool you remember using. And I do remember it really well because I'd kind of sat there thinking, when did this journey start? Kind of when did I start getting an interest in tech? Because I don't really remember being interested in technology at school and at university. It wasn't really on my radar at all. And then when I decided that I wanted to teach, I had applied to do a full-time PGCE course at university alongside a level 5 literacy specialist course, which isn't what I ended up doing, as other things kind of happen. I got offered a full-time job instead, and I took the money and trained on the job. But in the first session of that level 5 course, my teacher, Christina Rancy, so I still follow her on Twitter, she'd got us all in a room and said, right, well, we're going to use Moodle and we're going to use a forum. And it was kind of the first time that I'd been exposed to that sort of way of working. And she said, and I want you three, me included, to go off and come up with some rules for how we're going to use this kind of platform. So we thought, well, we don't really want to just write down a set of rules, so what can we use that might make it a little bit more exciting? And that's why I kind of started looking into technology in the first place. So I went onto a site called Goanimate, which is just an animation tool which I used for a long time at the start of my teaching career since I'd started using it, and we just put together a little cartoon with characters sort of on the Moodle site who was kind of communicating to who, and kind of there was a Superman coming through and kind of saying all the rules. But yeah, so that's the first one that I remember, and I still follow her on Twitter now, and I think she's a real kind of leading light in terms of technology and HE. So yeah, I've kind of kept in touch despite the fact that I never went on the course with her, so it was a really good link to have and a good tech tool from the start. So that was my first one. You'd asked me to talk about a few others. So my current favourite is, it's a toss-up between two, but I'm going to go for Edpuzzle. So it's a free site, obviously free, all about the free, and it's one where you can extract a video from, so you can either upload your own video, you can extract a video from YouTube, TED, Vimeo, kind of, they've got loads of sites that they're linked to. I think they've got Khan Academy on there, so you can search for any video at all. And when you edit it into your account, you can then add in your own voiceover clips in between bits of the video. You can also add in questions and multiple choice stuff. And as a teacher, you have an account. So when your students have a code, they join the class, they complete the activity, and then as a teacher, you can see how they've got on with all of their answers. So a lot of them are self-marking if you set it up as multiple choice. And if you put in sort of worded answers, then you can go through and mark them, give them feedback, say whether they're right or wrong, and then when they go into their account, they'll see what their grade was and what their feedback was. And I just think it's brilliant for free. It's really easy to use. I've shown it to somebody I'm mentoring at the moment, and she's already used it and is planning to use it for kind of transforming sort of a little bit more of a blended approach to learning from September. So yeah, fully recommend that tool. So yeah, I'll keep going. I think the newest one I've started using is actually an app on my iPad called Vidra. So it's a video app that you can do all sorts of stuff with. Again, it's free. I've used it to create a couple of things recently for my students, but it's kind of got so you can use words and icons, you can change the colours, but the designs are just really eye-catching. They're really easy on the eye, and it kind of just makes it really simple to share really short videos. I can also add my voice in, but yeah, I still have a little bit of a barrier in doing that. I kind of force myself to use my voice, but when you have to listen to it back, it's just, yeah. Your voice never sounds the same. Why is that? I just don't know. It's really, I had an experience of that recently because I've started using video feedback with my learners. So giving them a video instead of my handwritten comments, because my handwriting's horrendous, and also via video I can just give them more than I would ordinarily. But the first time I'd done it, I'd said, right, we're going to give this a go in class for the first time, and then you can access the rest of the videos at home. So we'd done it in class, and I'd forgotten to tell them all to put headphones in. So I'm stood in a class full of students, all listening to my voice coming at me from all angles, and it was horrendous. So yeah, that was a bit traumatic, really. So I've learnt my lesson: get them to put headphones in if they're doing anything like that, so you don't have to listen to yourself. So yeah, that was a bit of a random one. So Vidra for iPad for videos, really, really useful. So a couple of things that I've heard about recently that I'm thinking of using and haven't yet. One of them is a tool that my colleague James Kieft exposed me to, and it's something called Riddle. So it's a tool that's kind of got, I think, quizzes and various games and stuff for learners that I just need to get to grips with and go explore. So that's going to be my summer exploration one, to see what it looks like. And an app for iPad that Paul Warren from Twitter told me about. So Paul Warren is a colleague who just contacted us through Twitter and said, you're doing amazing things, and then we finally met him, and he's now volunteering at the college, so he's a brilliant link to have. So he recommended something called the Creator app, and I think it's for people doing kind of research so that they can collate all of the stuff that they're finding in one place. So I guess like Pinterest or Bundler and some of those other tools, but I'd just like to look at it as an alternative to see if it's any better, because sometimes one will come along and trump the others, so you've got to kind of keep ahead of what's coming out and what might be useful. Yeah, and I guess the last one, this is such a whistle-stop tour, kind of one after the other, but the last one was one that one of my students showed me a couple of years ago. She had oh, what's it called? She had a blog site, a Tumblr site, where she just kind of shared her thoughts and little photos and bits and pieces that she was using. And she started using a site called recitethis.com. So it's just a site where you can kind of turn words into a little poster or a little image, but you can kind of add something in the background and just make it look a little bit more attractive. So it's good for kind of making quotes stand out or whatever. So yeah, I've kind of used that loads since, and like anything with tech, I think as soon as she'd showed me it, I'd gone a bit crazy and used it for everything. So my whole classroom had these kinds of quotes and stuff all made on recitethis.com because I'd loved it so much. So I'm a bit of a binger when it comes to tech. As soon as I find something, I'll just kind of use it loads, and then move on to the next thing. Some things will stick, and I'll keep them. So there's certain tools like that that just become part of my toolbox now. So things like Padlet and Poplet, and Today's Meet, they'll always kind of be in my lessons and incorporated, but